Okay, so today this is 2024 grade 12 paper 2, one of the equations which was in section A. So I'll try to solve for today. I'll just solve question 4. Yeah, so first of all, you need, before you watch the video, solve on your own, then compare with my answers at the end. Yeah, so for question 4, solve the equation 7 minus 2x squared equals to x. Giving your answer correct to 2 decimal places, that is 5 marks. And then part B, given that matrix B equals to 4x, that's the first row is 4 and x, and the second row we have -1, -3x. Then find the value of x, provided a determinant of b is 22, and hence evaluate the inverse of b. Okay, so for part A, so we'll start solving with part A. So part A, so A, we have okay, this is not good. Okay, we'll try this one. Okay, so for part A we have 7. Oh man, not right properly. Okay, okay, let me just quickly grab this. Okay. Okay, so we have for part A we have 7 minus 2x squared equal to x. So, like you know, this is a quadratic equation. So first of all, we rearrange the terms. You say that we can take these terms this side, or take these terms on the right. We can take either side, so it's up to you. You can take the whole terms this side of the equation, or take all of the terms. So the best way is to take both, like terms on the left or right, to one side. Yeah, so in this example we'll take we'll consider taking these. This is my left. Okay, taking these on the left to right. Okay, so if we do that, you know that when a number crosses the equal sign, each sign changes. So like if you know, here we have 2 terms on the left. We have the constant 7. This is the constant 7, and it has in front of it the sign is what? Positive. So we don't write positive. It's either you write or you don't write, but this we know from algebra that this is a positive number. Then this number here is a negative number. So when it comes this side, it will be a positive number. And we know x, in front there is nothing. So that means if you can't see anything in front, that means x, that number is, or a variable is what? Positive. Okay, so just quickly erase this. Okay, so we're here. Okay, so now we need to write this equation in a standard form, where we know the standard form is a x squared plus b x plus c equals to 0. So the whole point of taking these terms to this other side is for us to write this equation in this standard. Then if you write it in this standard, it will be very easy for us to solve. So we have x this side. So we'll take first of all, we start with x squared. So x squared is -2x squared. When it comes this side, it crosses this equal sign, it will be positive. So it's the same as writing 2x squared now is positive. Okay, then plus, this one is not crossing anything, so it's to still remain positive, plus x, then 7 was positive. When it comes this side, it will be negative 7, then equal to what? 0. So now that we've written this equation in this standard format, there are a lot of varieties of methods you can use, depending on whether you can use their factorization method. There is complete by square. There is also a formula method. So for this example or this question, we'll try to implement the formula method. So the formula method goes like this: x is equals to negative b, then plus or minus, then you have a square root of b squared minus 4ac, then the whole of it you divide by 2a. Okay, so now the most important thing here in this equation, we need to identify which one is a, which one is b, which one is c. So a, as you know, a is a coefficient of x squared. This is x squared, so its coefficient. Coefficient is a number in front of a variable. So we have letters are called variables. And then the coefficient is a number in front of what? A variable. So we know the coefficient of x squared from this equation is, after rearranging, we have 2. So this 2 is positive. So we'll say a equals to 2. Then we go to b. How about b? B is a coefficient of x. So x here, what's a number in front of x? So this is same as 1x, and it has a positive sign here, 1x, but we don't write 1x. Okay, it's generally in mathematics we know that if a number doesn't have, or if a variable doesn't have a number, we know that its coefficient is what? 1, and the sign here is what? Positive. So we just write b equals to 1. Then we have c. C is a constant. So c is a constant, the number which is here. So we take with a sign. So this is the most common mistake which you guys do. So you just get 7, but it is accompanied by a sign. So you should be very careful, because missing a sign can cost you 5 marks. Okay, so now since we know that a here is 2, c is negative 7, b is what? 1. So we substitute these values here into our equation. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so now continue solving. So we say x equals to, so we write negative, then b, we know b is 1, so we write like that, plus or minus square root. So we have b is 1, so we write negative 1. So you can put brackets if you want. Okay, so let me just quickly try to erase a bit. Okay, so that okay, so for completeness sake, you need to put brackets. Just in case it's a negative number, it's better you put it in brackets, then you square, then minus, then 4ac. So you open bracket here. You need to make sure you don't just put in the numbers. This is separated by a negative sign, so this has to be in brackets, as well as this has to be in brackets for you to be sure of the sign. So now we write, okay, in 4 multiplied by a is what? A is 2 multiplied by c is what? Negative 7. Okay, so this is negative 7, so we close your bracket here. like that. Okay, so then you write 2 multiplied by a is what? 2. Okay, so you continue solving. X is equals to, so this would be -1, since the sign of 1 is what? Positive. So positive, if you multiply it by negative, it will give you negative from algebra or from integers. Yes. So okay, so we continue solving. Plus, minus. So you see why, the reason why I was emphasizing on putting everything in the brackets. So 1 multiplied by 1, it will be 1. Then this now will be plus, because we have a negative here multiplied by another negative, which is coming from -7. So now we multiply 4 multiplied by 2, which is 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and 8 multiplied by 7 give you 56. So you say over 4. Okay, so you have x equal to -1 plus or minus square root. So 56 plus 1, it will be 57, and over 4. Okay, so you continue solving. So now we take the square root of 57. So x is equals to -1 plus or minus. So we take square root of 57. So square root of 57 will give us 7.54983445. So at this point you need to write it in full. You don't round off from here. You round off only on the final answer. So you write the full number here like you've seen here. I didn't round off. I know the question requires us to round off, but you don't round off at this point because we don't know. You need to be accurate. So now, meaning x has 2 values. One is a -1 plus this value here over 4. Then another one, -1 minus this same value here over 4. So now we split it. So x equals to -1 plus, so we have 7.54983445. So this we divide by 4, or -1 minus 7.5498 34435, then whole of it divided by 4. So now you can just simplify here. So you -1, this will be -1 plus 7. This is just here, you just subtract whole numbers. So this is it, same as 7 minus 1 is 6. So this would be 6.549834, then divided by 4. So you say this number, you subtract 1 divided by 4 goes to, so it will be 1.6374586094. Then this one, -1, so this will be just -8.54. Then negative, so you just say square root of 57 divided by -1 plus -1 divided by 4. So this will be negative 2.13 7.458 sorry. Okay. Let's do that. 58. Okay, my 58. So 609. Okay, so now when you reach this point, now that's when you can round off now. Okay, so you say x is equals to, so what did the question require us to round off the answer? 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places, it means after the point, you need to only have 2 numbers after the point. So this would be 1.6. So meaning that the second decimal point is here. And you look at this number here. If it's greater than 5, it constitutes to 1. So you know this is 7. So we get 1 from 7 and add it to 3. So it will be 4. Or x equal to, so this one, it will be negative 2 point, this is the first decimal, second decimal is this. Same price, this is same applies, this is 7. So meaning it constitutes 1. Numbers from 5 going up, 5 to 9, they constitute to 1. So if it's 4, we don't get anything. But if it's 5 to 9, we get 1. So we get 1 from 7, this will be 4. So this is 0.14. Okay, so these are the answers for x. So mind you, this is a quadratic equation, meaning x will have 2 values. So in this case, x is 0.164 and x was also equals to negative 2.4. So you can also try using factorization method. You can also try using complete by square. But the easiest, and to save time, you can easily use the formula since it's provided. So you can just quickly use the formula and work out. Okay, this is our part A. Then part B. Part B, we have a matrix B, which is 4x negative 1. Okay, so I'll write here. Okay, so we have part B. So we have the matrix B, which is equals to 4. Wait a minute. 4x. Okay, negative 1, negative 3, 4. Sorry. 4. Negative 1. What? No. Okay, wait. So it's supposed to be x here. Okay. So get my pen here. Okay. So there is x here. Then there is negative 1, negative 3x. And we close bracket. So let's just quickly confirm. Okay, x negative 1, negative 3. Oh, okay. So we have negative 1 here. Alright, so this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So you know the order of the matrix, how we determine the order of the matrix first. You count, first of all, you need to know the order of the matrix. So order of the matrix. Is defined by number of rows. So we have number of rows multiplied by number of columns. So rows is when you look at a matrix like this. These are rows. When you are looking at a matrix in this order, these are rows. So this is row number 1, this is row number 2. And then columns, you're looking from the top. You're looking at the matrix from the top. So this is column number 1, this is column number 2. It's not always that they'll give you 2 by 2, but they can give you 4 by 4, 3 by 3. So this is just the way you know. So this matrix is a 2, meaning 2 rows multiplied by 2 columns. So meaning the order of this matrix, or the size of this matrix, is 2 by 2. So for example, if you have a matrix, for example, let me just give you for illustration. If you have a matrix, say you have a matrix 2, 3, 0, like this. Who can tell me the order of this matrix? So first of all, you look at the rows, you look at the matrix in this, you look at it from this edge. So this is it, meaning it has 1 row. Then you say multiplied by, then the columns from the top. So this is column 1, this is column 2, and this is column 3. So this is 1 by 3 matrix. This is the size of the matrix. Then you can also have a matrix 0, 1, negative 1, 2, like this. Then they ask you what's the size of the matrix, or what's the order of this matrix. Okay, so you know. So I've showed you guys how you can tell so I've showed you guys how you can tell the order of the matrix. So this one, so you look at this from this edge. First you count the number of rows, look at it from here. So this is 3 rows multiplied by columns. You look from the top, so it's only 1 column. So this is a 3 by 1 matrix. So this is how you determine the order. There are some questions which will ask you to say what is the order of the matrix. So order of the matrix, same as this size. Other terms they can say size. So it's important to know this before we solve the question. Okay, so now let's get back to our question. Okay, so let me just quickly erase this. Okay, this is not part of our question. Oh, okay, we'll just rewrite that. Okay, so that's about the order. Okay, so sorry about this. Okay, so yeah, so we have this. Okay. So this is our problem. So first of all, we know we need to determine the determinant. So the determinant, there are different books, they write determinant in different forms. So the determinant, you multiply the major row, then you subtract. So the major row is something like this, the diagonal rows. So this is your major row. Then you subtract the minor row, which is this one. So this is the, we call this the major diagonal row. Then this one, we call it minor diagonal row. So this one is just like, so the formula is the major row, major diagonal row, we subtract minor diagonal okay, so here diagonal row, like that. Okay, so now the major row, so the major row is -1, I mean 4 multiplied by negative 3x. So you say 4 multiplied by negative 3x. So you put in the brackets here, that minus the minor row, so it's this one, so it's negative 1 multiplied by x. So first of all, you identify the major row, like I've showed you, this row here, then the minor row, this one. So you multiply the major row, subtract the minor row. Okay, so this equal 4 multiplied by negative 3, this is the negative 12x. So minus negative 1 multiplied by x to be negative x. Okay, so this equals to 12x plus this negative multiplied by negative, it will be plus. Okay, then this will be 12x plus x, which is 13. I've said like the coefficient of x is 1, so meaning you know that this is same as 12 plus 1. For those who like factorization, this is same as x. If you take out x, there will be 12 here plus 1. So if you say 12 plus 1, 13 multiplied by x, this will still be 13x. Okay, yeah, so this is just the same, it's the same procedure. This is factorizing, just take out x multiplied by 12x multiplied by 12, it will be 12x, x multiplied by 1, it will be x. So it's the same. So we've been told in the question that the determinant of this matrix is what? 22, which is represented by this delta. So we say 22 is equals to 18x. Okay, so we need to determine the value of x. So from here we divide by 13, both sides by, so we divide by 13 even here, so meaning x is equals to 22. So 22, if we divide 22 by 13, we get, so we can just leave it as a fraction since it's not a perfect number, or it's not quite divisible. Yeah, 13 is a prime number, so it's better you leave it like this. So meaning matrix B now, since we know the value of x, matrix B is equals to, we can put the values now. So let's now put the values in this matrix. So we have 4. So we have 4. Then here we have negative x, meaning we have negative 22 over 18. Then here we have negative 1. Then here we have negative 4 x, which is this. So we put 22 over 13. So this is our matrix. Okay, so we can simplify it a bit further, so it looks a bit clean. So we say b equal to, so we have 4 negative 22 over 13. Then we have negative 1 here. Then we can multiply the 4, so it will be negative 88 over 13. Okay, so this is matrix B. Yeah, so we have at least solved one part of the question, which is solving for x. So that is part 1, we solved for x, so we know the value of x now. Now the part 2 is we need to calculate the inverse of B. So since we know matrix B, how do you get the inverse? So inverse B, so if you say B inverse is same as power negative 1. The way the formula, if the example B has values A, the values A, B, C, D. For instance, this is B. So first of all, let me do this. Inverse of, okay, let me just move this one. Let me use a different letter because B's have been already used. Okay, using right. So let's say this is matrix A, which is equals to these letters inside. Then if we want to find A inverse now, the inverse of A. First of all, we need to find the determinant, the way we determine the determinant on top. So the inverse is 1 over determinant of A, then you open bracket, then the major row, you swap the values. So the major row is this one. Okay, so this is our major row. If you remember, this is our major row. So you swap positions for D and A, they alternate. So here you have D, then here you have A. This is the major row. Then for minor row, this is the minor row. The minor row you multiply by -1. So meaning this will be negative C, this is negative B. This is how you find the inverse. So now coming to our question. B. So we know B equals to, so I'll quickly write it, 4 to 22 over 13, -1, -88 over 13. We already know the inverse of B. I mean, we already know the determinant of B, which is 22. It was already given in the question. It was already given in the question. So B inverse, using the concept I highlighted here, B concept, B inverse is same as 1 over the determinant of B, which is 22. Then you open bracket. So I think the major row they swap. So on top here, position for 4, there will be 88, -88 over 13. Then down here there will be 4. So this is the major row they've swapped over. Then the minor row, this is the minor row, we multiply by -1. So -1 multiplied by -1, you have 1 here. Then -22 over 13, it will be just 22 over 13. Okay, so this will be your answer now. So now we simplify it a little bit further. So this, we multiply it through by each and every number. So we have 1 over 22 multiplied by this value, 1 over 22 multiplied by this value, 1 will distribute. So we continue. Negative B, this is B inverse equals to, so we say -88 over 13 multiplied by 1 over 22. Then we have this side, we have 22 over 13 multiplied by 1 over 22. Then here we have 1 multiplied by 1 over 22. Here we have 4 multiplied by 1 over 22. Okay, so this is a matrix. Okay, so we simplify it a little bit further. We know 22 goes into 88. So we have B inverse equals to, so 22 into 88 is the value. So it will be just the same as the, wait a minute. Okay, so it will be 4. Okay, so 4 over 13. So it's just the same as 2 here, it will be 11. here it will be 11, 2 here it will be negative 44. So we know 11 here, 1, 11 here, negative 4. So it will be negative 4 over 13. Then here 22 and 22 will cancel, so we'll have 1 over 13. Then 1 multiplied by this will just be the same as 1 over 22. Then this same as over 1. So 4 multiplied, so this is same as 1. So we are multiplying 4 by 1, which is 4. 1 by 22, which is 22. So this will be 4 over 22. So this is your inverse. So this is how you answer. So this is part 2 of your question. Yeah, and then where we were solving for x. So this is part 1. Okay, so this is how you can answer questions. Yeah, so this is how you answer questions like this. So in this video, I've talked about how to apply the formula ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. How to solve using the formula method. So we said x is the coefficient of x squared is a, coefficient of x is b, and the coefficient c is a constant. So you get with signs. So wherever you are correcting these coefficients, you get with the signs in front of them. So this is a positive, this is a positive. So different questions comes with different signs. So you need to pay particular attention. Don't just get a number, get with a sign. Then apply the formula x equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, everything divided by 4a. Mind you, this division goes up to negative b. Not here. When you just reach here, it's wrong because you are dividing everything by 4. No, this is not 4c. Sorry. This is 2a. Okay. This is 2a. Oh. Okay, so quickly erase this. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, so over everything over, this is over 2a. Yeah, so this is a quadratic formula. So you replace now the values or the coefficients accordingly. Then we've also talked about the order of the matrix. So I've said the order of the matrix. Just quickly wrapping up. Okay. So I've said the order. The order of the matrix. Order of the matrix, or also called size, is equals to number of rows multiplied by number of columns. So I've showed in the area examples how to get the number of rows and how to get the number of rows. I mean the number of columns, and also how to get the determinant. So determinant, also represented by delta, is equals to, so I'll say the major row or major diagonal row minus minor diagonal row. So I've showed how to identify the major row and the minor row, and then also talked about the inverse. So the inverse I'll say this 1 over determinant. There are other higher class mathematics where there are other formulas for, but for grade 12 it's not necessary to go into all those deep calculations involving these. So you just swap the major row, you swap the values, then not the major row you swap, so you swap the position, then minor row you multiply by -1 and you get the answer. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I'll solve. I'll be solving differentiation and also integration. So thank you for watching.